Hello my beautiful badgers, Messy Coder back again with another live dev interview. This time I'm joined by those crazy Kiwis from Synty Studios. I've got Mike and Andrew with me. This was on my live Twitch stream, all the w.twitch.tv/themessycoder. I would like to say that I haven't got a clue what we spoke about, or I do know that they showed us some previews of their new Dwarf pack that's coming out. Oh, it looks amazing! Really does amazing. And also played about with their construction kit and their Synty Kids. There was a lot of Synty Kids involvement going on. We also spoke about life, love, and pretty much everything else we could think of. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you all in a moment.
I can hear him.
Hello, lads.
He's alive. How's it going?
My microphone just fell down again.
Oh, really?
But it's working. You can hear me, can't you?
Yep.
All
Very clear.
Brilliant. All right, you're live. Don't say fudge or bugger.
I would tend not to.
Attempt to say nothing.
Where are you live? Are you live on Twitch?
I am live on Twitch. I'm thinking of doing the YouTube thing.
We did that recently.
Yeah, I know. I was lurking. I was laying in bed.
It's playing audio like 3 times. There we go. Cool.
I was laying in bed listening to you and watching your beautiful faces. And then I put the phone down. I've got this like headband as if I'm an athletic jogger kind of headphones. Yep. So I put that on my head and I lay and I went to sleep listening to you talking so that your words would enter my dreams.
Creepy.
That's real weird, man.
It's not creepy at all, is it? It's very romantic.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
It's like ASMR, isn't it? ASMR, you could have us like real quiet, like messy.
Now I'm going to click this vertice and move it sideways.
Low poly acid.
UV map the polygon.
Just make sure one thing. Can you promise me that you'll never do an ASMR type stream when you're talking about Poly Kids?
Definitely not.
Nah, that's well off the table there, sir. We were actually, there was that concern when we were originally doing packs, kids. We wanted to do everything nice PC. But I think the pack's done well, and I think that people like it. I think they enjoy it, and it looks cool.
To be honest, it's about time. We have been waiting for some children.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's one of those things we've been asked for heaps.
Yeah, exactly. And I've asked you many times that I would like to play with your kids. If you could put them out there. So I'm really glad you have.
Yep.
What about the babies?
Yeah.
I couldn't see any babies.
There's some babies in there.
There's babies.
7 different babies.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna. I was looking at the pictures on the promotional. Can somebody in chat do exclamation mark?
Are they rigged? They're rigged, aren't they?
Somewhat. They're like little nuggets, basically.
Yeah, you can animate them with maybe dynamic bone, and they can kind of wriggle.
Nuggets.
But I think that's cool.
Nuggets is what you describe a poop.
It is a poop.
Yeah, exactly.
They're poly poops.
It's like a worm.
Yep. And we've.
I was going to say, Mike, you recently your son now is getting on a little bit. Is he toddling? He must be toddling.
Yeah, he's running around. He's nearly 2.
So, was he a model inspiration? Did you make him pose?
Nah.
Some of the characters look similar. There's not an exact Alex in there, but there's certainly some aspects of him in the pack. But I think the thing about this pack is they're kind of customizable, so you can change your hairs. So as long because he's kind of got a mullet, as long as you can kind of go with the mullet,
he does.
Good to go. Good to go.
And he's got the screamy face as well. Turn that one on.
Face, yeah.
Has Mummy been cutting his hair?
No, not yet. He hasn't had a haircut yet. We're gonna save it for as long as possible.
Oh, you're gonna.
So we don't have to deal with him getting his haircut.
The beautiful locks.
Yeah, it's not too long, but it's getting there. I got quite long hair.
Yeah, I have very fond memories. I'm going to try and pop out the. Do you mind? Shall I pop out your video cam so people can see your beautiful faces?
Yeah, I'll just hang on. Let me just switch mine over. to my other system.
Because if anyone remembers, once a little while back, I was doing a stream, and then randomly I received a Facebook message from Synty Mike, which included a picture of him sitting in a hairdresser's getting his hair done. Like, hey, how you doing? And he was like, here's a picture of me getting my hair cut. And suddenly that went all over the stream, and everyone were throwing their knickers at the monitors, going, yeah! Oh, it's so sexy, look at his wonderful hair. How does it feel, Andrew, working with such a heartthrob?
Myself? Well, I don't have any mirrors, so I don't get too distracted during the day. But my house has a couple mirrors.
I love that answer. Best answer.
Oh, you mean Mike? Yeah, try not to throw up. I do have a bucket next to me.
Oh, it's so. He's actually no, he's one and turned off. Oh,
Yeah, no, I gotta get my mic back. It's going down.
He's showing off, Andrew.
No, I know. Mine would also show off, but it sometimes doesn't work, so I'm not going to risk it.
How cool is that for background, though?
He has to compensate because he's not
it's good. It's good
looking.
background, this one. Look at that. Bam.
Yeah,
Mean.
it'd be better if you took your head off of it.
Absolutely amazing.
Just
oh man,
get out of the frame.
Let me put mine on.
Did you see the colouring competition we did for? Oh, that's cool. Did you see the colouring competition we did for kids? Messy.
The which competition?
The colouring competition we did.
No. Oh yes, I did. A few people in the
Discord.
Funny? A few people in the Discord
funny, right?
would entered it actually, and they posted it on my Discord.
Isn't that hilarious?
Whose idea was it?
Oh yeah, it was mine. It was actually my wife's idea.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. Andrew was just about to take credit for it, and then
no,
but,
I was against the idea.
He didn't like it.
You didn't?
Yeah.
I was like,
what?
Nah, I thought it was
you didn't
good.
like it?
Yeah.
That's
there are
funny.
times that
Too
we
creative.
have dumb ideas, so I have to fight against them.
Too cool.
It was good. It was alright. Too cool was good.
But yeah, I was at a restaurant the other day having some breakfast. It was like a cafe having breakfast, and my son was colouring in the colouring page they had, and I was like, man, that's so funny. Our one was like pretty accurate, you know. He was colouring in like the.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was. They were handing out your ones. It got so famous.
Oh no!
The restaurant was going.
Right, we were taking the port. Yeah, no. They just, but it was very similar. It was like the same thing. It was kind of funny, you know. Had like the circular burger and all that stuff. But yeah, good fun.
For some reason, my head ain't my camera's not picking up my responses. That's
it looks like it's doing something.
Well, yeah, it's getting my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of cool.
But
do you actually look like that?
I do.
Okay.
You have a giant afro.
I do.
Yeah. Nice. I cannot picture it.
And I've got massive eyebrows. Very sexy eyebrows. Is this?
Yeah.
I've got to put a pop out. Here we go. How is that? There you go. Now it's on the. Now you're on the stream. It's been a while since you've been on. When was the last time you were on?
Probably a couple of months.
It was.
Let's say.
Oh, a bit more than that, I think.
Polygon Kingdoms. That was quite a while.
Yeah, it was. It was Kingdoms, wasn't it?
Yep. We've done a few things since then. It's been. We've been doing big packs. So we did like military, which was huge.
Yeah, I did a review.
And kids, which is actually. Kids is actually pretty big.
Did you?
I watched a review.
I was going to say, importantly, did you watch? Forget Kids for a moment. Did you watch the review of my military one?
Yeah, I watched. I just watched them while I work, so I just got them in the background. They're good listening.
Good listening.
It's good.
You basically.
I think I saw that one.
You didn't see it.
Nah, I may have briefly.
How else are you going to find out that you've missed colliders?
I just don't want
some
you to.
floating polys.
I just don't want you to give us another 5
We don't like our critics. It's like anyone. It's like anyone on, like YouTubers or whatever. They're like, I don't read the YouTube comments. Like if you H3H3 or like Joe Rogan, he's like, I don't read the comments. You know, like it's kind of the same with us as well. We don't like obviously you've got to
I'm
kind
going.
of
I'm
get
leaving.
reviewed.
I'm going.
You get reviewed and things like that, and I like your ones. Your ones are very kind, but generally it's just like I don't want to take the risk that there's something bad there, so you just kind of block it out. You know what I mean?
I'm kind.
Put the blinders on.
I thought
you're good.
I thought I was. I've never once described myself as being kind. Honest.
Yeah, honest is good, but you're not coming in from like a negative front. Like, there's people that come in and they're coming in very much from an angle that's they're coming in
haters. They're haters
to be a hater.
This asset is an asset flip asset.
Yeah,
it's like, well, we can't do anything about that. We can't control who buys it, what they do with it.
Yeah.
You guys flipped your own. This asset is an asset flip.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's an asset. It's a flip. No, it's the asset. It's the original asset. No, you flipped it. You flipping Kiwis.
Yeah, we flipped it.
We've got talking about your hand drawn competition. Bit Gamey says I entered that competition. Bit Gamey, I think wasn't it for kids, not for parents?
It was for anyone, but a lot of people did come out and get their kids to colour them, which was pretty cool. I thought that was a cool thing. It kind of gets everyone involved a little bit because game development typically is much more older. You 3-year-olds aren't learning how to code C#. They're generally colouring pictures and things. So I think it's a good chance.
Well,
I think it's a good chance for people to kind of get the kids involved a little bit more into it. Like maybe the kids are playing the games, but until they get a little bit older, they're typically not making the games. So I think it's kind of cool to get them involved.
I'll have to side with Andrew on this one. I've been not necessarily 3, but I started teaching my 5-year-old.
5 though. 5's a lot older. Right. You go to school, you can read and write. 3-year-olds a lot younger.
I started him at 3 with understanding the concept of if statements.
Yeah.
So he was writing if statements when he was 3.
If you clean your room, you get a cookie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I think isn't parenting just
if you clean your room, I'll teach you how to do it.
If you don't put that down, you're gonna get. I guess you can't hit kids nowadays.
Why not?
Oh, you probably can in the UK.
I'm not a
parent here.
Oh no! In Scotland, you can get arrested for smacking your child.
Oh yeah,
same here. I think it's because some people smack them a little bit too crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with belts, like back in my day.
There was some people doing some bad stuff.
Back in my day, that's called beat strap all the time.
Yeah, I'm from I'm from a strap generation.
It's called a lesson.
Exactly.
I'm not. Luckily I'm younger than you guys. I'm not from the strap generation.
I got strapped all the time. I mean,
no strapping.
The thing is, though, Mike, when you're from the strap generation, it suddenly it's not really the strap; it's the fear of it. It's go get my belt. Right? And then
my belt. Yeah.
A child then realizes that I'm being raided by Irish John. Thank you very much, and followed by Hicks. Thank you. You realize as a child that your parents are idiots because they're like, go get my belt so I can beat you, and then you're like, well, no. I'm going to go in my room and hide your belt. And therefore, there's no more belt. The belt's taken out of the equation.
Yep. I think they got, what do they got like now, the naughty step or whatever? Or maybe like put the shackles on, you shackle them up to a hot water cylinder or something, We
used to have go and stand in the corner for half an hour.
Oh.
Stare at the corner. That was always fun.
Stare at the wall.
Yeah.
I remember that at school. I remember going to the headmaster, being sent to the headmaster's office. And having to stand with my nose against the wall.
Yep, that's the one.
We had a square. They had a square you had to sit in.
Did you have the dunce hat?
Just on the no, it was on like the basketball court. There was just this big square. And at lunchtime you just have like 5 people on the square, and I was always in the square.
Hang on a minute, 5 people on the square is a party.
And
my friend got put in the square because he was reading a book in the classrooms, and you weren't allowed to be in the classrooms at lunchtime. You're supposed to be out doing stuff, and he got done for reading. So they had him he was trying to improve his knowledge at school, and he was in the square one day with me.
Oh my word!
You're never in the square. You're too good for the square.
Only New Zealand are children being punished for learning. How dare you come to school to learn?
Oh yeah, no, totally. No, you got to be outdoors. That was when I grew up. You got to be outdoors. Nowadays, who knows what's going on? They're probably playing Fortnite.
Oh,
can't trust them outdoors. They got their phones and all sorts.
How dare you? You shouldn't be in school learning. You should be at petrol stations pouring petrol on slices of bread. Now get out of here.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't do that at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Don't do that at home. But it's actually more common than you think.
Yeah.
So
I remember one time we were making napalm in my bedroom,
what?
and we were like mixing like I heard you mix petrol with polystyrene, so we were like making it in the bedroom, and then my mum comes in and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then my friend like freaked out and he flicked it and it went all over my bed, and basically the whole bed just caught on fire. Petrol and
Petrol and polystyrene, doesn't there?
everything just went
polystyrene?
push.
I've done that.
Supposedly it makes napalm, but it just went push.
Yeah.
Oh
It just
my
went
God.
push, and the bed was all on fire. We were like running around like, "Oh my god!" So funny.
Oh my God.
We
That's
did a lot of
insane.
stuff. That's good, man. Yeah, we made bombs. We did all sorts of good. What boys are up to, when like boys are kids.
Oh, yeah.
Dumb stuff.
Not me. I was a good boy.
Andrew, you
Party
never,
till
you never
someone
made
loses their
napalm,
hand.
Andrew.
Accidentally I did, but
Yeah,
not
mate.
on purpose.
Accidentally
Never made napalm.
making
Accidentally. I thought it was you pour petrol onto polystyrene, it just like evaporates. It's
Yeah,
kind
but
of fun.
eventually it makes like a sticky goop,
Ah,
which is the
okay.
napalm.
Oh, it's the sticky goop. That's the.
Ah.
Well, I don't think it's actual napalm. Actual napalm's probably some like complex scientific
Probably.
thing that they make, but I think it's because I mean I'm pretty I think it's the same thing. Like petrol, they're all
Isn't it just
thick
sticky,
carbon, so
sticky
you know.
petrol at that point?
that's napalm though. Isn't that what's sticky? But
I guess so.
like that's pretty
Yeah.
much what it is.
I assume napalm has some more crazy stuff in there that would
Mate, I
make
don't know.
it.
We never got to the point where
crazy.
we dissolved enough into it before we
Dunno.
threw it all over the bed. Caught my
Something to try for everyone at home.
Yeah.
I was
There you
about
go.
to say, let's tell people at home not to try creating napalm.
Well, they can do. They can
I mean,
do
it's
what they
not.
want.
Yeah, it's not a like super dangerous thing. It's just petrol. I mean, dealing with that quite often with the lawnmower and whatnot. But don't do it in a bedroom. Is probably the way to.
Or at least don't do it in the bedroom in
danger
your
on that one.
parents' house. Do it in a bedroom that you
No.
paid for yourself.
Yes, that is fine.
Not a
Just don't tell
hotel
the insurance
bedroom.
company what you are doing. Yeah,
Or at least don't try and claim the insurance.
yeah. So now this is a how-to guide on insurance fraud.
As we're talking, my brain is actually processing all of those tick boxes in YouTube that you have to flag if you want monetization. Does not
Oh, yeah.
contain swear words, sexuality, reference to drug abuse,
Haven't mentioned that.
reference to weapons,
Haven't mentioned
violence.
Violence. None
So
of
we've
that.
had-
I mean, like
Yeah,
we make
it's
like
like
military
kids.
asset packs, like
That's violence.
yeah. We
Just
don't
tick
smack
everything.
hackers.
You'll be safe.
Yeah, I think we'll be. Yeah.
Tick
Does
it all.
not contain bomb
You're
making tutorials. Exactly.
So-
Yeah, no.
Messi,
think
will
we're
you
okay
make
on
an
that one.
incendiary bomb on stream tomorrow? Actually, tomorrow we've got Protofactor live. In stream.
Who's that guy?
Protofactor
What does
is
he do?
one of the few artists on the asset store who hasn't decided to make a load of Polygon style models.
Well, that's good.
A lot of the other ones kind of, everyone's coming for us. They're all like, I want to make low poly, but I just don't think it's. I think people just need to do their own thing and just keep working with that. It's.
I was going
I
to
think,
ask you,
yeah,
how do
if you keep
feel
flip
about
flopping around with what you're doing, you're never going to find that thing.
it? Well, you guys flip flopped. You went from simple to Polygon.
It was an
Well,
evolution.
It's not flip flopping.
Yeah, it was
we
never
were also,
evolution.
like-
It's a natural evolution.
I think we were like one of the first solid Polygon people as well. Or
Yeah.
low poly.
Well, nobody had really done low poly characters.
Same with Simple.
Yeah, the
like
ones that
we-
were on there were like blobs.
We were kind of first there.
Yeah.
Were you the
Um,
first with the simple ones?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah, the Civil Series, we were the first ones to do the kind of cubey, I guess Minecrafty kind of designs. There was no one else on the store doing that look at the time. Everything was very hand painted, like it was that
Yeah.
hand painted style, a lot of hand painted stuff. No one had really done the like solid colors.
And a few of them have come out
look.
since.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. All of our stuff just gets cloned, day one kind of thing.
Do you find that
which is
as a-
unfortunate, but I
Oh,
think
you don't
it's
find
a
it flattering?
form of flattery, I guess. I think it's a form of flattery, but it is kind of annoying though. Some of the stuff is like almost direct copies. Like there's been people lately that have literally copied the demo scene, asset for asset, and I think that's unfair. Like I think as a people trying to mimic it is fine. Like if they want to explore their own ideas and things, but selling a product that literally is just a copy of another product.
I've
is
seen
pretty
that with your
dubious,
Western. I'll mention them.
Yes. That's exactly the one that I am talking about right now. That is a clear example of someone that has just basically stolen our ideas and tried to, it's steal, basically. So I think there is definitely instances that are not good. But generally, I think people are fine. We've seen some really cool stuff on there. We've seen some cool assets that complement our stuff pretty well. Malbers has been really great in the space.
Oh, yeah.
So that stuff's
Have
been
you
really
seen his
cool.
elephants?
Yeah, his stuff's cool, man.
I loved his. I was playing about with it last night on stream. I was riding his poly elephants. Lovely, and the animations are nice, beautiful. Really are outstanding. Are you ever thinking of doing some kind of more official team ups with people who do like Malbers, who's doing animations that you guys don't get involved in?
I think the problem with that with the horse we've seen is the fact that it's so reliant on his. Like, it's 4 stars, as you can see out of all of our packs. It's probably one of the lowest rated ones.
Yep.
Oh wow!
It's difficult because everyone's really busy, and if he doesn't update, then we have to talk to him and work with him, and then try and get an update out. And I think our pack, horse pack, is kind of they've kind of diverged quite a bit now, so it needs another big update. But it's just really hard for us to keep going back and forth on that. So I think working with other publishers on assets that are directly reliant on another asset is very difficult for us, and not something I think going forward, if we did more of them, we would just run into more time. So I think they're very difficult.
The other issue is a lot of people will buy the horse and then realize, you need to buy something else as well.
Yeah,
1 star.
1 star.
It's you're giving us a 1 star because you didn't read the description.
Is that not obvious that you need to have the Malbus horse pack there?
It is only 3 times.
No, this requires. No, I don't think it's that obvious. It's just got it at the top.
Yeah, and on the main image. Yeah,
Link to it.
Yeah.
There's a link to it.
Yeah.
I can see how you could not read it, but
If you don't look at it,
you shouldn't give us a 1 star because of that.
it's still. I mean, technically, it's still a model. It works without it. It's a model.
Somewhat.
You'd have to keyframe animate it or something, because there's no mechanism for animals.
That's the problem I was going to get to with your stuff, is that you're not including any animations. So when it comes to the models, you're kind of limiting yourself to only being able to create humanoid models for your poly stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So currently, that's good because there's so many humanoid motions out there. So we'd have to release animations with anything we made. If we weren't teaming up with someone else, because you can't just have the model with no animations, because animation is a very, very complex art form that our target audience, which is mainly programmers, doesn't have even the slightest idea on how to animate something. So you couldn't release an animal without animations. It just wouldn't be possible. So
plus they would need to be rigged, and that's like something.
Yeah, it's a lot of R&D in that.
If we're not going to animate, we're not going to rig.
Yeah.
So it's something
heavily
we're aware about, and we're considering.
So
some options there.
You guys are making shed loads of money by now. You've got a couple of Rolls Royces each.
Oh yeah. No, I still work in a garage.
I don't even drive.
Unfortunately, the Rolls Royce is
a waste of a car.
Is currently well out of the budget. But yeah, we've expanded the team. That's kind of what we've been. That's kind of where we've started to put. Started to invest a bit more in the team. So we've got a support guy now that also does a bunch of modeling, Cameron, and we've got another modeler, Jason. So we're certainly looking at, in the new year, potentially investing in some animation stuff. We might get another modeler potentially. I don't know. These are all just kind of like pie in the sky things, but we've certainly been able to expand the team a little bit, which has been really good. So we can kind of make bigger packs without so much pressure on us.
That's good.
Whereas previously making big packs was quite a big burden, just managing everything, trying to make sure we had enough stuff, trying to fill all the gaps. As soon as you make a pack bigger, you got to have enough stuff to fill all the gaps. Otherwise, your branches get too thin and then things start breaking. So you got to have enough stuff in between. You know what I mean? If I'm going to make an outdoor area in the pack, it needs to have some outdoor props. If I'm going to have an indoor area, indoor props. So The dungeon one is a good example of that. The new dungeon I'm working on has like a dwarven mine, and has a whole bunch of like desert stuff out the front. But you need some desert props and some dwarven props. You need a bit of everything. You can't just say, oh well, the dwarven table will totally work out in the desert, because it won't. So it just allows us to kind of have more stuff covered and do more things.
But in saying that, it also creates some issues where now we're managing more people. So it's something we've had to manage. The production of big packs has definitely started to happen more. Just because if you start a project, it's like so much effort to actually plan the project that we may as well make it bigger.
Yeah.
So that we can like pay for the team that builds it, rather than like starting is quite slow on different projects. And because there's different components to a project, so there's model, put it into the engine, build the demo scene, make the screenshots, make the trailer, name everything, clean it up, wrap it up, put it on the store, icons, description. It's like quite a big process.
Put it Unreal.
Put it Unreal. It's like quite a big process. Like the more times we do that, it slows us down. So we kind of started to do bigger projects. We are trying not to do too bigger projects.
I was going to say, your packs have become mega packs now.
Yeah, some of them are getting a little sizable. But
we're keeping the dungeon pack a lot smaller. The goal is just to have less stuff in it. I mean, it's hard for us to hold back because we've got so many cool ideas, but they're just trying to get the price point affordable for certain things. Like for sure we've got fantasy. If you're going to make a fantasy game, grab that. But we don't necessarily want to make a sequel to Dungeon that completely makes the other one irrelevant and also is too expensive. So, we're just trying to find a good middle ground with some of the stuff. We try and go up and down. Like Construction, for example, came out after Fantasy Kingdom, and it's not a big pack, and it's a cheaper pack as well. So we're trying to keep a balance, price point to pack size as well.
But
Construction was fun to work on. It was really good. It was Jason's he did most of the vehicles for it, and it was kind of his forte into having a bit more kind of management of the scene and helping out with that. Just kind of bigger picture stuff and taking him through the process of doing screenshots and things like that. So that was really fun.
Well, you say it's not a bigger pack. It's 550 detailed prefabs included in this pack.
Yes.
Which is...
Yeah.
It's quite a lot.
It's a big... yes, this is a big pack.
I think that's something people also kind of hang up on. Is like, Apocalypse has 1,800 assets. It's like, well, yeah, hold up. What is an asset? Is an asset a rock? Is it a full... Almost swore there. Is it a full, truck with heaps of pieces? Is it a character? Yeah. Is the definition of asset is so varied that I think it's very hard to just look at the number of assets and go, well, that's 18,000. Why is it that price? It's like the prices we come up with are just Mike throws a number up, I throw a number up, and then we fight until we hit submit. That price is never actually locked in.
It's not like you do a
$18 and then that's
I can imagine.
No, we're not in the same city anymore.
We're in the same city.
Virtual
no.
None of us are. We're all in different cities now.
You're all in your mansions. You're all in your mansions.
We're all remote. I'm on a private island in the Caribbean. Caribbean private island. It's great. Like that here. No, I'm actually in a dungeon. If you can see on the
As we can see, we've got back to the.
But no, I think I think that lately, we've been trying to do a bit of everything. We're just trying to mix up size and things. Kids was a good one because we had 100 characters that are all unique, and not only that, they are both male and female models, so you can swap the eyes and the eyebrows and the mouth out. Girl,
and
do the same thing. Boy,
facial system where you can give them expressions.
Yep.
Something brand new.
Yep.
So
there's a couple of examples
kind of stuff
people
is
have done
exciting.
It's very cool.
You're innovating in that this pack. You're doing something different, and it also makes them feel different. Makes you feel like the models are now evolving. You're able to have personalities, whereas previously. The models look great, but their personalities were inherently driven by the clothing and the props that they would have.
Totally. Yeah. I think with kids, they didn't really look very interesting without them. So, but you can also get a free decal faceplate that you can put them onto adults if you require.
So if you have the pack, you can use the textures on our adults, and they look pretty good.
Oh, nice.
It's just we released it for free and it's unsupported because it doesn't work on all characters and it's just kind of a hack. You know, some people are happy with hacks, some people are not happy with hacks. So
is that easy to do, or does somebody have to follow like a tutorial?
No, it's easy. It's easy. You just parent the mesh to the head. That's it.
Someone's asking, are they rigged? You're always going to have all of your stuff humanoid rigged, aren't you?
The characters are rigged, yeah.
You know, there's never going to be a day where a Synty model isn't going to be rigged. I hope.
Correct.
Well, characters.
Characters.
Anything else, yeah.
Painfully rigged by my hand. That is hurting.
But they look cool. And then once again, you got 100 characters. They can be male, female, whatever. You know, you can go any direction you want. They've got multiple colors, heaps of hairs, heaps of accessories. It's a massive pack. It has. If you want to make a game with kids in it, man, you got so many options. You know, if you have a game with 90 NPCs and 10 main characters, and you'd have no problem. You know, so it's a real cool pack.
We were going to make it actually 50 kids, but then we were like, well, we may as well just make the be all end all kids pack.
Yeah.
And maybe in another 5 years, once we've gone down a bunch more packs, we can do another one. But
and you've put a load of you've got your push bikes as well thrown in there for the kids to do.
Got a lot of props in there.
I'll do.
But hang on.
I modelled that. Here's a fun fact. Apart from the props in there, there's a few props like the bikes and things. I did that entire scene in a day.
Really?
Modelled and built it in Unity. Yep.
Wait.
Showing off there, mate?
One day.
Who made the playground? Oh, not you.
No, not that. Not that. I
Okay.
did the gazebo, the skate park, the ground.
It was quick. I'll give him that. It was quick.
Like that. Like
he didn't
the
make
fence.
everything.
No, I said that as a disclaimer. I didn't make all the props,
Okay.
but yeah, did the park in a day. That's pretty good. I still got it. I'm not too rusty just yet.
Sure.
Am I able to
just
animate these?
another note.
Yeah, sorry.
Which ones?
I'm trying to animate the wheels, the pedals.
The pedals should. They are separate. I think you can animate them. Probably need to change your pivot. Maybe global. You're on global.
Yeah.
Just a quick note.
No, you're on global pivot. You need to go to
the
local.
Synty store has a sale on the moment, and the Unity Asset store also has a sale on.
I was going to ask you about that. Your Synty sale, your Apocalypse is at 70% off.
Was for 24 hours. Yep, it's now 50%.
So
on our store.
Yeah, on your store.
Oh yeah. Yep, 70% off on our store still.
Yeah, we're supposed to change that back.
I was going to say, are you?
Were we? No, we weren't.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Someone was asking me the other day, like, what's the deal with selling on a store? And I had last night the good people at Sound Toolkit, Tecmo, and they were struggling of how to handle if somebody buys something on Unreal and on Unity, how to get them the same person to have both licenses. And I explained to them, well, the amazing people at Synty have got their own store, and if you buy something from Synty store, !Synty store in chat, thank you, Fresh Meat. If you buy something from the Synty store, you can actually get both the Unreal and the Unity files in the same purchase.
Yep.
But when it comes to selling your stuff,
that's a good advantage.
That is an amazing advantage, and it's there's a few other asset sellers that I've spoken to that I'm like, can I get this on? You're selling on Unreal. Can I get it on Unreal? And they're like, no. Buy it again. Go away. You guys don't do it.
I mean, you kind of have to do that. Like, especially Unity, it's like we get 12 vouchers per asset per year. That's it. We get 12 voucher codes.
And
most I give you a code.
You're not meant to sell
exactly. That's what I mean. And you're allowed to sell them or whatever, but they're 12. You get 12. So Apocalypse, we get 12 per 12 months. So it's 1 per month. So even if someone bought it on Unreal and wanted a Unity code, we don't even have the code. We can't even do it. This is not even possible to give people codes. So we don't even have a way to do that. And I think Unreal doesn't even have a voucher system. You have to email them and get them to add it to an account. It's a big nightmare. So there is no easy way for that to happen, regardless of whether or not people want it. You know, technically, it's not doable. So that's why our store kind of in the middle. Originally started as something that was kind of its own thing. So people that were using Godot or they were using Roblox or whatever kind of wanted source files and they wanted a bit more leniency. They weren't so tied to the main engines, but eventually it just kind of evolved into like, you get both versions, you get source files. We can be a bit more, we can be more experimental on our store. We can release betas and things like that. If people are really keen to buy a pack, they can get it on our store first, and then we can make easy updates.
Are you
Whereas,
updating
say, if
them
we
at the
release it
same
on
time though? So if you've updated something,
so
is it getting updated?
so if it was a
across
beta, yeah, it will do. But if it's in beta, it will only be on our store, so we can just like keep updating that one. And then once it's out of beta, so Kids is Kids in beta? I think Kids is in beta currently on our store. There's a couple of fixes I need to do. We've just run out of time. Yeah, coming to the end of the year, but we will release it officially on Unreal at some point. But it's good being able to beta it up so that we can get all of the kinks out of the way, and then when it comes out on Unreal, it's as strong as it can be. So we've got some advantages to our store.
So if you, so it's
certainly.
not. I was worried it was the other way around, that you would update the Unity one before your one gets updated, or you'd forget
they'll
to
get
update
updated.
your one.
No, they all get updated at the same time generally. I mean, we had a little bit of disparity earlier on, but I think we've got much better at keeping everything the same. So it's been much better.
You're getting more professional, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
I like that.
Well, we've got Cameron helping out a lot too. He's kind of keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, he's a good check, because if someone notices they're out of date, he tells us, yeah, whoops.
Yeah.
There's I think one thing that's difficult is like Mike and I have probably 20 things coming at us every hour. Like, oh yep, do that, change that, do that. Oh yep, we need to update that. So it's very easy for us to forget something, like update the Synty store, or change this, do that. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
What do you do
have
to manage your the project management? So like,
Well,
We do it.
we have an app called Myra, I think it's called. They changed the
Myra?
name. It's like a real-time whiteboard, basically.
oh,
You just slap images on there. We used to use Google Docs, but I don't like the linear fashion of it. It's kind of all on big lists. So it's like, go to page 86, that's where you're working. Whereas Miro is the same thing. It's just it's spread out. So you can go over this way, and then you go up there. It's kind of like a big brainstorm, basically.
And because we're like 3D artists, we're quite spatial thinkers. So it's like, it's up the top left is the thing you need to work on.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to manage.
Yeah.
You can also highlight stuff and just chuck images in there as well.
Yeah.
It's quite handy.
And we still use Scene Fusion to help a lot too. Scene Fusion
I was
is
going to
great.
ask
So
how
you
you
shout
get
out
on
to them
with
because
Scene
they are great to us, man. They're really
now
cool,
you've got
so
a bigger team.
highly recommend.
So with a bigger team that you've got, is Scene Fusion still able to handle it, or is
It's better.
really?
It's better. Some of the scenes have been massive, so we used a newer version of Unity, but I'm pretty sure that was Unity. We had there were a few lag issues, but generally fine. I mean, we were scene fusioning. We've been building this dungeon for the last few days, and it's already a pretty big scene. Totally fine with 4 of us in there.
We had
Not a problem.
five at
Yeah,
one
5.
point, right?
Yeah, we had a bit of lag with Fantasy Kingdom at times, but it was fine. Like I'd rather have it than not have it. But those are massive scenes. When you're working on a small scene, great. So pretty easy peasy. But I'd highly recommend this stuff. Like it's great. It seriously is a game changer.
And that's the
comes to
question
that
that people
kind of
ask: is like, how do you make these amazing demo scenes?
Yeah, we're going to do a video at some point because there's a few small techniques that are handy, like the scene behind me, or the scene you're looking at right now. Reference is your biggest. It's the biggest thing. Go on Google, type in Grand Central Park, zoom in, and just copy it. There's so much reference. So much reference. You want to find reference for a park? Go to any park in the world. Go to the park down the road. Go to just any park on Google you can either think of. Zoom in, and then you might find the name of the park. Then you can find some images on Google Images of the same park. But just it's all there. It's all that reference material is on the internet. It's super easy to find. Castles, for example, the castle in Fantasy Kingdoms is based on a castle in France.
Oh, really?
Or maybe it's in Spain. I can't remember exactly where it was, but there's a Sketchfab 3D scan. There's like a drone scan of it. Plus, you can go on Google Maps and see it in 3D on Google Maps. So, a lot of our stuff is based on real world things to a degree.
Google Maps is a good call because I would suggest it might be a little bit risky to take your video camera down to the a kids' park and playground and taking videos and pictures of kids. So be careful of that. Google Images, is a good shout.
I would agree with that. Yeah. So reference material is going to be the best thing ever.
What have we got here on the collider on this ramp? Is it a? Oh, lads, Have you just
Are you
got
sharing
a...
your screen?
We've got a mixture of colliders with our packs now. We've got custom, auto-generated, and cube like box and mesh. So we use like all four, depending on what it is. I would say that one would be. I would put a mesh collider on there. I wouldn't use anything else. Is that set to mesh collider?
That's you've got a mesh collider of a generated convex submesh.
Oh no, that needs to be that just needs to be a raw mesh collider.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
that
kid's going to go flying up there like that.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. No, I think most of the skate park should be mesh colliders, but probably the old things just switch, just auto-gened. But yeah, no, the collision something we've been adding lately, and people have been seeming to like it, which is good.
A lot of people are really happy you put the colliders in. I had that comment.
I think that's a mesh collider on that bowl, hopefully. Yeah.
Oh, this one here?
On the big skate bowl. The big purple one.
Yep.
That one. Yeah, so that's what it should be. So a lot of that stuff should be mesh colliders. It really depends what you're doing, People may not need that fidelity, or maybe they do. I don't know.
Fresh Meat saying, "I love you, Synty Studios."
Oh, thank you, Fresh Meat. We love Fresh Meat. He's a mod on our channel on Discord. If we thank him for his
I don't know about that.
I thought you were going to go. He was like, "I love you, Synty Studios." You go, "Oh, Fresh Meat's great. We like him."
We do like.
Oh no, Fresh Meat's great.
He's like a moderator or something.
Yeah. He keeps the peace. Keeps the peace.
Keeps the plebs in line, does he?
Yeah, he does. Absolutely. He's great.
He's not bad. You're not bad, Fresh Meat, are you? Lols in chat.
He's not bad.
And now you've got this team that you're building up. I'm really excited that you're getting this organization in place, and I've got these fantasies in my head that you've now got a dedicated team that work on the Unreal conversions and the Unreal packs and maintaining those. And you've got a dedicated team working on the Unity ones, and you've got a dedicated team now working on marketing and customer support, and you've got a dedicated team working on research.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. It's
none of those are dedicated. Everyone does everything.
Today you're doing this.
Yeah. You're doing Unreal.
Tomorrow you'll work on this.
Yeah. Nah. There's no dedicated roles in studios whatsoever.
They're floating roles. Dedicated floating roles.
Yeah.
I think is a better way to say it. We're still small. We're not big.
Yeah.
That's a cunning way of making sure that that knowledge is being shared across the business. So if Kevin ever decides to run away or get sick, then Sebastian can always step in and do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I don't know. I think it's just because we're a small company. It's just too hard to have people in one role. There's not enough work to do for one person. Like Cameron, there's not enough support for a whole day. So it's like he does modeling and stuff as well. He helps out tools. He writes a lot of our internal tools. We've got some cool internal tools that do cool things like random rotation on assets. Just things to help build levels quicker, So we kind of mix it up. There's never enough for just one person to do one thing. So we need to keep ourselves busy with a whole bunch of stuff. But we kind of like that way. It's a little more interesting on a day-to-day if you're not doing the one thing all the time, I think most people could agree that, if you're sitting in a cubicle in an office and all you do all day is one thing, it's not as much enjoyment as doing a bunch of things.
I was going to ask you a cheeky question. What's the retention like with employees in the company? Are you still the same people when you started? And you just
pretty much.
More people?
Yeah, more people.
We've had one or two people that were temporary.
For just they came on for just to do a role.
Yeah.
And then contract work. We've done some for a big company, some contract work. Maybe they needed some compatibility help with our assets or something. They want to license some stuff. So we've done some big compatibility things. We just needed temporary work. Other things we've done investigations and other game engines and things that haven't panned out. But generally, I think everyone's pretty happy. We're, we make cool art on the day to day. It's not like it's a high pressure job or anything. So, I think people like working from home and making cool art. It's kind of a win-win, really.
Yeah.
I certainly like doing it.
Are you going to do an apprenticeship thing or get?
It's too difficult.
Nah, too difficult.
Too difficult. We don't have enough time. Like
don't have time.
most of the answers to all the questions people have is we just don't have enough time. We're too small of a team. We're doing too many things at once.
Yeah.
It's like people
definitely can't train someone up that doesn't know what
people
they're
want
doing,
tutorials on how to model. It's like, well,
yeah.
How do we do that? It's not even something. I don't know.
It's not even worth doing. Well, they don't even have Maya. Like Maya's $2,000 a year. Nobody's got Maya. Well, we've got Maya because we've used it our whole careers, and we just by default we have copies of Maya, right? Like that's like our tool. You know, like a builder would have some nice hammers. Like we just own Maya because that's the tool we use for our entire existence. But your average Joe isn't going to go out and buy Maya because it's also super expensive. Yeah, it's very hard to learn. Tool. And it's very hard to learn. So, you know, like it's not. You can't do modeling tutorials because we don't know Blender. So it's like the tutorial would be in a piece of software that no one can get. So it's just. And also, it's counterproductive to our whole business model that we create assets for them to buy. Yeah. And there is some overlap where you might want to change one of the models, but if you don't know how to model, then probably don't attempt that.
Yeah. I had somebody comment today, like, how can I customize these assets from it was the Apocalypse pack. Somebody commented.
Yeah, I think the answer is if you have to ask that question, you can't.
But I've seen people and some.
You need to start learning.
You'd need Blender. It would take a while to get good enough that you can edit it. Yeah, you got to practice. Just practice makes perfect. Just start
practice. Somebody was in the Discord, loaded them up because you provide the source files and you provide obviously FBX. But if you download that from your source, you get the source files. Somebody in the Discord loaded. I'm not sure it was Blender or Max or whatever he used, but he actually customized, loaded up and went around chopping off heads off models. There are things you can do. You can chop off a head off Synty Studios model quite easily. And other people have been modifying the faces, adding noses to Synty heads to make them different.
I would just recommend just learning the software. Like if you know Blender, you can make edits. You know, I wouldn't just say I need to go do some stuff and you don't know how to use it. Like you need to learn the basics first. It's like Unity, right? When you first loaded up Unity, you were like, "What the hell am I looking at?" You know, like it's just basically a viewport. There's nothing in there. There's no scripting thing down the side. There's no nodes you can bring in. There is literally nothing, and it's just a completely blank editor. So if you just loaded up Unity and said, "Hey, here's Unity, make a game," to someone, they'd be like, "What?" Like it requires a lot of learning. So I think it's just the same with anything. Just learn. Just load up Blender, go on YouTube, start with the cube. That's it. You know, you'll get there.
I love chat saying, "What the hell am I looking at?" This is basically me 2010. Angry saying, "Do you have any plans to make Middle Eastern themed packs that does not include a lot of war related assets? I really love the look of your Middle Eastern buildings in the military pack."
You can use, so the military pack has 3 different levels of destruction. You can totally use that pack without the military aspects in there. So it's basically made to be, you delete the guns and the tanks. It's just a Middle Eastern town. So, and it can be a fantasy Middle Eastern town. More importantly,
we have no plans to separate it.
We're not separating it into a separate
comes
pack.
Back to time. It's like we could split it up, release it as its own pack, but then now we're managing 2 different packs with the same content on 4 different.
It's on sale now though. It's half off. So half of the content's Middle Eastern, then you can buy it right now and pay for just the Middle Eastern stuff. Technically, you know.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
That pack was designed to be workable in fantasy. I was going to do a screenshot at some point as well, just to show the fact that hey, you could totally use this with kingdoms, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference because we kept all the technology off the stuff. None of the buildings have any pipes or wiring connected to them. It's all separate. So the design of the pack is you can use it anywhere.
Like computer technology.
Oh no, yeah.
Like
so that
stuff.
Yeah, no. So that pack is fully usable in a fantasy setting if you want.
Oh yeah, I've got like a or like an Disney's Aladdin type thing.
Yeah, totally, 100%. Like there's a village in there that's like that doesn't have any military stuff, even in the screenshots. You know, so I don't. Yeah, it's if you need a Middle Eastern village or city, military's it. We're not going to be doing that for a while because it's all in there. We would just be doing the same thing again.
Yeah. So like even when we're working on Dungeon right now, it's a little bit tricky to make new things of the same things. So it's like making an entire Middle Eastern village would be very difficult because it already exists. So in order to make it again, you'd have to make it different.
That's always. I've seen that with like. There's a few times I've looked at your stuff, like the city pack, and then you've got that pack with the house. The more detailed in the houses, the suburbs. And I'm like, okay, what actually is different between these? Are they being cheeky and just reusing and rehashing models and putting them in? And you go there with a critical eye, and you go, actually, no, they've added aspects that previously didn't exist. But like you're saying, with the Middle Eastern, to be fair, it's going. What are you going to add that you don't currently have?
There's a lot you could add, but as a core set, that pack already has more than 50 buildings in it. I think something like that. There's damaged versions as well, but exactly. Like it. I think people just immediately think, military. I want a non-military one. It's like, well, yeah. They're just assets. You can just turn the military stuff off. Boom. You've got a non-military one. And I think a lot of people don't see that. So the problem here is I don't think it's the fact that the assets aren't usable, and I think people are just not seeing the fact that I can turn the stuff off. I like Fantasy Kingdom, for example. You could use that in a modern day setting as like a theme park, or you could use it as a modern day setting as like an old castle. You could totally use it for that. You don't have to use it in a fantasy setting, but I think a lot of people can't see that the fact that you can use these things out of context and they totally work. I think there's a lot of people just don't see. They don't see that far forward. Yeah, they can't look past it. So I think a lot of people are very narrow-minded in the usage of the things. So it's use the castle theme park. Great.
Yeah.
Damn those narrow-minded people.
How dare they be narrow?
I think it's just short-sighted. I think it's not being able to see the fact that the things can be used in creative manners that you haven't even thought of. I've seen some great usage of our stuff that we haven't even seen. So it's not like it's, it's. I think that it's just. Maybe we need to show stuff better. I'm not too sure. Look at the layout images. Don't just rely on the screenshots we do. The layouts will show you the context of the actual assets. So if you look at the layout for the buildings in, say, the military.
Can you see my screen? I've loaded it up now.
Yep.
Now,
so go over that village over there.
There we go.
Like not the city.
Screenshot though. Like
if I go over here,
I think it comes down to people think the price might be too. They don't want to waste money on assets they won't use.
Yeah. Like chuck some fantasy banners in there, a horse and carriage, and a couple of knights. Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's not even. There's some stuff in there like the umbrella. Just turn that off. Swap it out for like a coverage. We've got some covers in there that are much more basic, but this could totally be used in a fantasy game.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Now we've gone back in time. Get rid of the sofa.
Yep. And we've got covers in here. We've got we've got covers. So if you look around the scene, there's those little striped covers that are very much like Prince of Persia, like they're like sunshades. So yeah, you can totally use this as a fantasy setting. There you go. Those ones there. There's and over there as well in the distance. There is a bunch of that kind of stuff in there. So could be a fantasy setting if you wanted it to be easily.
I can show you the world.
It's a cool pack though, man. This thing's got a lot of content.
Look at
Not only does it have a whole village, it's got a whole city and a whole bunch. And
don't give me an excuse to buy a military pack, Yolan says. No, Yolan, it's 50% off. There you go. Exclamation mark Synty.
This is cool. I'm proud of this one, man. This is a cool pack. This looks good.
I was going to ask you, and thank you for leading into that question. Which is your proudest pack? Which pack have you made that's made you go, you know what? I feel we've outdone ourselves.
I don't know. Probably Kingdom or this or Apocalypse. It's just one of the. I'd probably say the big ones, to be honest. I think the problem is all three of those packs are very different packs, and they're all kind of the same size, and they're roughly, so it's hard to choose between those three, I would say. Personally, I like military because we kind of just started off with not making a big pack, and then it turned out to be a big pack, but it looks pretty cool. But Apocalypse was a sequel to our previous big pack, and it also turned out really good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
depends. There's also in the demo scene, there's different areas.
Yeah.
So like, there's different areas that you probably like better.
Apocalypse is cool.
Yeah.
And I think because it was a sequel and it was our first big pack, that kind of has a little bit of nostalgia, you know?
Mm.
You don't sound convinced,
Yeah,
Andrew.
cool. But it's all cool.
No, I'm just trying to think of the smaller packs we've made.
I like Gang Warfare. Honestly, that was probably one of my favorites.
That was a fun pack. I've
Meat Labs, and you know, that's a great one.
Yeah. I've
We really
walking in
like-
a room and finding a guy
Yeah.
with a bag on his head who's been shot.
Yeah.
You don't
We were just
expect
taking
that.
the piss with that pack. We were like, I wonder if Unity even allow this on their store. Yeah. You know.
The I lined up all of your characters in that cartel pack, the druglet pack, and each and every single one I was like, Cynthia going down the absolute cliched route for this is the stereotypical character, but you got away with it. I liked it. I have to say I liked it. It was a little bit violent in places, but that's what it was there for.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
We've recently we've started to make the characters a little more customizable, which I think is good because people always say, I want modular characters, but they really all they want is the ability to change the character enough that you can make another character out of it. And generally that's just done with the head. So beards, hairs, accessories for the face and things like that.
You know,
generally
broke my heart.
you get away with a lot.
You broke my heart on that because you had it. You at the start you weren't customizable. Then you went customizable, and you to the point that you inspired me to make my Messi's ultimate character creator that now sits on the bathroom floor. And that was awesome because I was able to swap out pretty much everything and clothing, trousers, hair, earrings, and then you went back to not being customizable again, and you gave me a very valid argument why about how when you're doing complex clothing and it's modeled to that character so that you know that it's not going to have any clipping issues, and that you can do a higher quality to it once you know this is dedicated, this is what the model looks like, and you don't have to worry about it. But then that argument, I'm like, well, hair doesn't really have any weight to it. That argument when it comes to hair and stuff. And now you've gone back and you've got bald people with weak hair that can change again, and eyebrows that can be changed, which and more components of the clothing as modular, like armor or pouches.
Attachments,
attachments are very important. So you broke my heart. Now you're going back to it. Are you? But you're never going to get to the point where trousers can be changed differently to tops of bodies.
I think it's kind of a soft modular, and I think that's a good in between. The fact you can get so much out of just having a few things you can attach to it or change out. What do you think, Andrew? You're the modular expert.
Again, I'm just going to go back to my default answer. It comes down to time. Problem with the fully modular pack was like that. Almost swear again. Took a long time, and it truly stuffed up my hand. This hand here had to skin every one of those pieces to the rig. Had to make sure every little vertex was matched, so there wasn't a hole between the arms and the legs, and it all fit together, and just the whole system had to be perfect. I don't think it is perfect, but yeah. I think the main issue we see going forward will be because it was fantasy. There was an obvious belt line. There's an obvious armor kind of attachment, a head, helmet, beards. It was quite standard. As soon as you branch off into normal characters like City, there's more variation in the clothing. So a coat or a hoodie could go past that belt line, and then it becomes difficult.
A coat goes over a jacket.
Yeah, matching all the pieces together becomes a lot more difficult because Fantasy Heroes was just here's a torso with armor on it. It's a very standard,
and it totally works that way.
Defined. Yeah. Here's the holes where the arms are. Clip that on. So just an example is say you've got a hoodie torso, then you hit random, and then from basically the sleeve, you can see that from here is skin, and then it randomly decides this is now a sleeve. It just starts to break apart. Whereas with the fantasy heroes, it was like anything there kind of still worked. Anything there still worked. So it's like each piece worked when you hit random, but that wouldn't work necessarily for other characters. So it's a matter of like how do you get past that hurdle.
But that's kind of where we've done the soft modular, and I think that's actually people are really happy with that. They've found that actually really good. So
that's not saying we won't do more modular character packs. It's just I need some time to think about it.
Yeah.
Did it sell worth enough? Like, did it prove to be like really popular, or was it you were a little bit disappointed?
I think most of our stuff's pretty popular.
It's about the same.
It's just like the pain we went through to do it. It's a very complex pack. We get a lot of support for it. It's a very advanced thing to do, you know. We don't want to have too many of those to manage, you know.
It's fun making when you can hit random and you get a character.
Yeah,
that was fun. The painful bit was managing so many pieces and making sure that they all work together was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Well, Yolande says in chat, Modular Fantasy Hero is probably my favourite kit you have.
It's cool.
Yeah, it will
always be a separate pack though.
It's definitely one of my favourites, but I have the pain of building it in my mind.
With that pain, ignore the pain, forget the pain. He's saying we really need modular enemies.
Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday actually.
Ooh.
They're quite humanoid.
Like modular orcs and modular
goblins and fire people. Basically the enemy version of heroes.
Exactly.
That isn't too difficult.
That was the initial plan.
Yeah.
But again, where that fits in.
We haven't
really planned too far ahead.
That makes a lot more sense than city characters, though. So modular enemies would be a much more logical choice because of what Andrew just described as the limitation of the system. Yeah.
So,
I feel like if we did city characters, we'd have to change the full system.
Yeah.
To make it simpler.
Yeah. And that's the problem. If you then go simpler, that you're losing out on a lot of the benefit of it in the first place. Like, why would people want more basic looking characters just so that it's modular when now they've just got these simple things and then no longer has the identity of these high detailed, exciting, interesting Synty characters, which there are other poly characters on the store, and some of them are really good. I like the style that they're doing, but there's a lot of detail that goes into the Synty stuff that isn't actually matched anyway. And I'm not saying that because you've got sell it 100 back as well. I say a lot of things.
It's pretty popular. Hang on, I can screen share. I got some stuff. Yep, great, excellent. So this is Maya for what we were talking about before.
So these are short, fat people.
Yeah, so they're using the big rig. They are going to be shorter than an adult by, I don't know, how much you want to go. But we had a dwarf originally in Rivals, which was just for fun. But this is just basically taking it further. So we've got these guys, once again, soft modular. They'll have, parts you can swap out. So they'll have a bunch of beard options.
Is his eyebrows modular? Or eyebrows?
I don't think. No, they'll probably be merged in with the rig just on the bone.
No, they won't, because there's female eyebrows.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You'll be able to turn them on and off, and
cool.
Okay.
we'll probably do a few different eyebrows.
Yep. So the basically, we've got a few beards.
Naked.
They're all naked. So this is the base mesh. So he's like a little chubby dude. You'll be able to like customize the stuff, and kind of merge things together. This stuff's all reasonably tempy. It's kind of work in progress, so this stuff could change. We've got like a miner dude with like a little gas mask thing. These guys could be, they could almost be science fiction if you wanted it, I guess. The females can also have beards.
Well, I was going to say, okay, bit gamey, kind of like he's going, no Snow White, epic fail. No, you're forgetting, bit gamey, that these are the lads who worked on the Hobbit movies. So
yes, we did.
They're channeling their Hobbit.
Yeah.
If anyone in chat isn't
So
go over to YouTube, exclamation mark YouTube in chat, and watch my first ever interview. It was an offline video with me and Mike chatting. It was the first time we properly met and chatted to each other. and it actually, Mike, was my first ever live interview. Which kicked me off, got me started.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time. And you had I think you just made one. It was your first poly pack, or maybe you had two.
Yeah, early on. It was early on.
Yeah. That was when Mike and I were still living together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ages.
happy memories.
Long time ago.
Do you have the king in there, Mike?
I do. I'll get there.
Okay.
I'll go this way first. And then
My favourite memory from our chat, Mike, was when had a first-person controller in the scene, and I was walking around and I was looking up at all the gaps in your meshes, and when you said,
you were like,
Pirates.
Actually, it was pirates. Pirates.
Yeah, exactly. And you were like, oh, we've never actually looked at it from this point of view before. We've always looking top down. And at that point, I realised that suddenly the Synty world is going to get a lot different. Of you just going to be sitting there in your little labs, walking around, going, "All right, have we missed? Is there any gaping holes? Have we got?"
I'm sure there are still gaping holes. It's amazing. Even if you do look up, down, around, you slap it in VR, and you just see so many more issues. It's crazy.
I was going to ask you, like, are you doing a lot of VR stuff?
We're not really testing and stuff in VR.
Mike has VR. Justin, one of our fellas, he's getting the new.
Yeah, we're just too busy. We're just focusing on making cool stuff. Kind of thing. We've done a few VR props and things, but it's just time. Everything comes down to time. We'd love to do more of everything, but
because I remember when I was watching when I was laying in bed listening to you talking, you lads were talking about how Andrew would like to just go off to a VR island, and Mike, you were saying you'd like to sit in your dungeon in VR.
Yep. Give that a go. Be kind of creepy. See how long it lasts. What other characters we have? So we've got a couple of guys he's like a generic kind of blacksmithy guy, and then we've got the king. He's pretty rad. Pretty cool. King guy. And then just basically a bunch of beer concepts.
Now, if you ever want to add any sound files into the packs, I'm more than happy to lend my chops as a voice actor for some Synty packs. So I feel like for the dwarfs, if you ever want,
give us an audition.
Okay,
give us your best dwarf.
All right, toss me.
Oh, it's all right.
That's good. No, that's good.
Yeah, maybe like a B+.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, that's not terrible.
It's a bit better than my Kiwi. Oh, hello there, everyone. We've got Synty Studios in the stream.
Nah, you're in South African, I'm afraid.
No, so South African's more like that there, bro.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Here you go. So you can customize the stuff.
Oh, lovely.
Scaling. Whew.
Oh, there you go.
Cover that whole.
Pity the fool who goes down my mind.
Yeah. So you could mix and match with his hairs and things as well. But yeah, that's basically we were looking at with the Dungeon 2 stuff. So Dungeon Realms.
There'll be more characters currently being worked on.
Yeah. We've got a lot of cool stuff going down the pipe.
I know it's not Hobbit, but in Lord of the Rings, doesn't Gimli say that you can't tell the difference between dwarf women and dwarf men?
Yep. That's why we did the beard.
These are all what you
that you could use on the females as well, which is kind of funny, and it works. Like, it kind of works.
I mean, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
What are you doing?
Cool. I'll end the screen share. That's basically.
Let me turn off.
For you, Miss Coda.
Well,
you let me know, and I'll cut it when you're good.
We're good.
Cool.
What is the release date of that going to be?
A good question. Probably next year.
Yeah, probably the year.
Actually, how long is it?
We're getting very close to the end of the year this year.
1, 2,
November.
3. So we've got 2.5 weeks. 3 weeks here left. Yeah, we won't finish it by then.
Nah,
next year.
Yeah.
So, random question for you, Miss Coda. If you could tell us a pack to create next year, what would it be? Can't promise anything, but One pack
Yeah, one.
that we haven't made already.
One pack that you haven't made already,
Yeah, that we haven't made.
And it can't be copyright.
and it can't be
Yes,
copyrighted.
no Iron Man. The pack.
Yeah.
No ironing man.
Vanessa was saying to me yesterday. She was like Spider-Man, and then she said she said it again, but she said Spider-Man. I was like, I've never heard anyone say Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Batman.
Spider-Man is the Jewish accountant superhero.
Yeah. Batman. Batman.
Okay. I actually used to know a Spider-Man.
Batman.
Synty Sports Bit Game, he says, I would have gone down the route of if you love the Assassin's Creed kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know you're still playing Assassin's Creed.
I was literally gonna predict that you were gonna say Ancient Worlds. I was literally gonna predict.
Well, one thing, you know me well enough by now.
Yeah.
And not many people, a few people have seen my face in real life, like Honest Dan. I've met him in real life, and there's some pictures on the internet of me and my afro and curly moustache. Mike is one of the few people to see a little bit more of the real me than most other people as well. Those pictures that he's seen exposes a lot of my personal desires. So it was obviously that he was going to know that the worry that's on Andrew's face, that as ancient kingdoms.
I love Assassin's Creed games so much. Not really the original ones. I'm much more about Black Flag, Origins, and Odyssey. But man, I'm playing Odyssey at the moment. I'm trying to finish it so then I can play Valhalla. Odyssey is so good.
I played a little bit of the other ones, but I haven't actually. I've only jumped in because my wife leaves it on the computer and she'll go have a cup of tea or cook dinner, and I'll start playing it. Like, he's walking around. So I'm thinking I was going to do nothing apart from start from Odyssey. Would you recommend?
Odyssey is so good.
Yeah, I don't need to know anything.
Origins is fantastic. So Egypt, it's so good.
The thing is that Egypt was one that I looked at first, and I was like, I wish they would do ancient Greece. So
if you like ancient Greece already, I would say Odyssey's a bit more actiony, so it's probably a good one to start with.
But do you need to have this? Do you need to do the Origin first because it leads into the Odyssey game?
Nah,
or they're complete standalone?
they're all standalone.
Oh, awesome! I was worried that you'd have to do one before you can do the other.
No, totally standalone.
Chat is asking for chat. Gildas going Ancient Rome. Yeah, Ancient Rome copycats of the Ancient Greeks. I'll do. Synty Sports, Barbie Village. Your Little Ponies, Alishindo. Dystopian sci-fi. Instead of all the shiny lights and cyberpunk stuff, maybe a darker, more frightening sci-fi game.
Yeah, that could that could work. Yeah,
that's very good.
I think we want to do we've got a few plans next year. We've got Sci-Fi Planets, which we're going to be doing, and then Ancient Worlds to be one that I think would be really cool. I think we both want to do that. I think Ancient Greece, put some mythology.
I think you'll find Ancient Worlds will be coming next year.
Oh, there you
that'd
go.
Be a cool one.
Steampunk is one that I would love. Facebite is saying in chat. Synty have done nearly everything. Maybe they've already done Aliens. James, Dark Dungeon Studios made some amazing stuff in the game jam.
Still do more.
If you check out, if you type in
Sci-Fi Planets will probably have some new races in it.
Nice! Exclamation mark Synty Space in chat. I think I've got a quick link for this.
Much like Star Trek, though, they'll all be humanoids.
How do I get back to all of us in the same bucket? Here it is, grid view. So Star Trek went down the route of everyone looks like a human because it was cheaper on the special effects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now with Synty's, obviously it's cheaper to be humanoid rig, so you don't have to worry about doing animations and things.
Pretty much. It's
better for everyone, really, isn't it? Because then they can be like, I need an animation. Oh, wow, there's like 1 million I can get,
Even though, I'm going to say, there's a lot of people who do humanoid rigs. However, when you put in the animation, their arms might be too close in how they're rigged into their chest, or their legs are a little bit bow-legged. How difficult is it for you guys when you're doing your models that you've got the right number of polys under the armpits so that you don't have any weird distortions and stuff when it's being animated?
I mean, you're always going to get some distortion.
Yeah.
But low poly models can be a lot more forgiving,
We just know what we're doing
Yeah, I
somewhat.
like that answer.
Yeah.
That's why it's difficult to get a job at Synty, because you need to have that pedigree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
a
when
lot of people ask for jobs.
when I'm skinning the characters, I'm also like adding topology, changing the topology. So it's mainly the legs with skirts and stuff. I have to go in and make sure the verts are added to where it's going to stretch and look okay. Still, it's never ever perfect because it's very minimal joints. So like unless you put another joint in there to counteract the legs splitting apart and stuff.
Yeah.
Like at Weta, you'd have way more joints. You'd have a whole muscle system to make sure.
But then they go a shot sculptor at the end anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
so
when the movie's done, they'll like go back and manually hand sculpt per frame
Really?
the stuffed up, and because they'll do the bake. They bake basically, run the animation, do the bake. They bake all the motion out. They got a baked out mesh that's doing the animation, but it's all screwed up per frame. They go back and paint it.
Wow.
So
there's a lot of that, right?
yeah,
a lot of
they do heaps of shot sculpting. Yeah, so there's no way around it really. It's going to happen. You're going to get forming. You know.
God, I never thought of it. They actually go back and tweaking after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, they've got the bake motion for the shot, and the artist will just go in from the camera and just like hand paint out the geodes all stuffed.
Wow,
crazy, absolutely crazy.
Do you guys miss it?
Not really. No. Did my 10,000 hours there, and I'm done.
I love it because you've said that before, and that quote always comes back. And I always think...
Yeah, when I left, I was like, can I get my a spreadsheet of what I did here? They're like, yeah, you worked on 19 movies and you did 10,146 hours or something. And I was like, yes, I passed the 10,000 hour mark. And then I said, I'm done. So, I'm glad I asked for that when I left.
How many of your old mates at Weta have left now to pursue their own...
Jason now works for Synty Studios, so he works with us. Who's one of my friends. He actually started around the same time as I did at Weta. So
did he have to wait till he did his 10,000 before he could leave?
Few years. I think he probably did the 10,000. Not sure. But yeah, he was just working. He just had enough of Weta and he was working from home and doing RAM stuff. We were just like, you want a job, bro? You want to come help us out? And he's like, yep. And he's great. You know, I've known him for a long time. I think that's kind of what we look for in artists, is people that know what they're doing, and people that we know is even better. You know.
Is that kind of like a prerequisite though? They don't have to have been at Weta then? No.
Most of our people, like it's only Mike and Jason have actually been at Weta.
Yeah.
I've never been to Weta.
No.
Not even to visit.
Thank God.
I think no. He went to one of the parties. The parties are insane.
I went to a party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! Give us
the best parties.
Before you have to go and do some work today, give us a Weta insane Weta party store. Sorry, come on.
Oh man. Okay, so they had this one of the parties we were at. They had this smoke room. So it was like the size of probably, I guess, an apartment in London. You know, so it was, or not like a small one, maybe like a single bedroom apartment, not like a studio. So it was quite big, you know, and it was just a room full of smoke. And it was in the middle of this giant warehouse where this massive party was going on, and it was just this like smoke room, and it had these like clear covers coming down, and you went into the smoke room through the covers, and you could only see about this far in front of you, and people had their phones out and they were like going around, and I think it was kind of like almost like a steam or a smoke or something. And anyway, a culture 11 p.m. at night time, the girls, my wife and my friend who had his wife there, the girls were like ready to go, right? They were like, man, we're feeling really tired, we want to get out of here. It was only 11 o'clock, and we were like, oh man, come on, can we just go in the smoke room for a little bit longer? And then we're like, okay, cool, we'll go in there. And for some reason, the smoke, I think it was because it was like a moisture smoke, it kind of rehydrated us, even though we'd been drinking quite a bit of alcohol. And we were in there for like another 6 hours sitting in the smoke room, like, you know, and people kept like coming over to us, and we were, it was great. It was just it was the craziest, weirdest thing ever. No hangover the next day.
6 hours in the party smoke room. What, did your wives leave you there? Or were they
No, they came into the smoke room, but they just felt immediately like relaxed and cooler, and I think it was just a really nice place to be in, you know. So we were in there for like hours. It was great. But the parties are insane. You got like you know, they've got big displays happening. They've got actors. There's actors that are acting like certain roles and things. There's people serving you plates that are dressed up like 18th century, you know, like, sir, would you like an hors d'oeuvre, with the big hair pieces and everything? Like, it's just crazy. It's insane. It's good fun.
Oh, Andrew's there, like thinking, "Oh, I missed out on the smoke rooms."
I didn't go to that one.
He came to the one that had what was it, World War II nurses would give you rubs. Yeah.
As you're going through the entrance, it was like a movie set, and they were like chopping heads off chickens. I don't think they were actually doing it, but like
They had live
chickens
chickens
around and like trading and stuff. Some back alley. It was kind of
yeah. That's great. They were all good.
Definitely throwing their money around.
Yeah.
How much money did they have?
That would have been $500,000 parties, I reckon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They're big parties.
I think Mike and I probably drunk $100,000 worth of alcohol at least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just a normal Friday night for you, Ed, isn't it?
Yeah, got to get your money's worth.
Fresh Meat's like, I want to party with Synty Studios. I think the Synty Studios party is a little bit different.
You know, we'd have a good time if Fresh Meat ever comes to us in New Zealand. We'd have a good time.
Our party this year is going to be playing some video games.
Yeah, we're just spending getting the team together to play some games.
Well, I have promised the wife many years ago that we were going to do the Lord of the Rings New Zealand tour.
Oh, you should. Could have got a Hobbiton.
Well, I need to.
You'll have to wait. 2
Once
weeks.
once all this COVID stuff's over, yeah.
I've got so many friends, Kiwi friends, who have got some kind of link to those movies. I would include you, Mike, in that bundle of friends, because I love you so much. And a friend of mine, she basically told me that anyone who's born in New Zealand ends up getting drafted into any major movie that gets made there.
A lot of people were involved in all productions here. You know, like that would be an accurate statement.
So I'm hoping
there's a lot of people with some connection to some. You know, I was the caterer, or like I was the tour guide. You know, there's a lot of film stuff in this country, and there's a lot of people involved.
See, this is what when I go there, I want to blag some kind of like, oh, I can introduce you to blah blah blah. Because my friend is like, oh yeah, I'm best mates with the lads from Flight of the Conchords, and she doesn't live there anymore. But I'm gonna say, before I go to New Zealand, can you please send him a Facebook message or something, or a MySpace, whatever the cool kids use these days, and say that I'm going over, and can you give him and his family a personal tour of New Zealand? That's my romantic image. Now, realistically, what might end up happening is that I might just end up at your front door.
You can come visit, man. I got sheep. It's a good time out here, man.
I've seen your estate, your wonderful, massive land.
Your estate with the walnut trees and the willows. No, it's a swamp. It's a dirty swamp.
For those who can I tell the story about your what do you call it, the sex party, gender
sex party
for the baby.
What?
Gender reveal.
Gender reveal. That's what it's called. Gender reveal. Much.
I
was like, sex party. What the?
That's a whole nother.
When did I tell you about that party?
Yeah, that's not until Friday.
I keep that secret.
Do you want to tell people about the gender reveal and the weaponry?
Oh yeah, no, it was. It was kind of funny because had a few people there, and we basically were shot a milk bottle with a shotgun, and then the milk bottle was full of some color. There was like people there, and they were like standing around, and I was like, "You guys need to wear headphones." Earmuffs. You can put earmuffs on. It's real loud. Oh no. She's right. And I'm like, no, this is gonna be really loud, and we're all putting earmuffs on. I got heaps of earmuffs, and then people are like, no, I'm cool. I don't need it. And I'm just like, boof. And they're like, I'm just like, come on, guys.
It is a bleeding, like the episode of The Boys.
No, I know. But yeah, it shot the milk bottle, blue, boy, everyone happy.
A boy.
Great.
It's a boy milk bottle.
Are you allowed to swear in this stream?
I'm not allowed to monetize now because of all of the child spanking.
The profanities.
Mike did just say a word in that. Yeah, you did.
No.
What did he say?
Well, now that you pointed it out, he can't monetize.
Which word was it?
F word.
Well, fudge.
Yeah, fudge. That one.
Chocolate fudge.
Just in case you missed it.
I'll have to check. Everyone, check the VOD tonight after the stream to see.
Yeah, Rush to rewatch the whole thing.
Synty Mike swearing.
Get
It's
a,
naughty,
get
but
a
it's got a
strike
potty
on your
mouth.
channel.
Can't you just edit it? Can't you just like just
Yeah, put a beep in there. Bleep.
yeah, put a beep in there.
I tried to put the bleeps in when I played Phasmophobia, right? I
Yeah.
gave up because I was swearing so much. I was so
But like,
scared.
if it was like one swear word, couldn't you just like have like a clapper? So you're just like, and then you go back over the footage, look for the clap, and then, you know,
That's actually a good point. Next time you swear,
or
please
something.
clap.
You could do some sort of visual cue.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But I need you need to do it when you're swearing. It doesn't. It's a bit
Yeah,
hard after
maybe
the fact, Mike.
Clap instead of
Oh
song.
yeah. It's
Done
like
my best.
it's almost like you need to be able to do it on YouTube, you know, as like a post thing.
That's
Yeah,
technology you guys need to make next.
You'd think they would have that.
Yeah,
They'll just like scan your video, and if you swore, it puts a bleep in there.
Yeah, well, it's like the automatic
turn it on.
subtitles thing. Surely you should be able to have some ability to like just
Come
like
on,
mute
YouTube.
a bit. You know, mute the audio.
You
for a
obviously
second.
haven't tried the automatic subtitles on my streams and my videos.
Oh, they're not good.
They are bizarre. They come
We've
out.
done it, but they're not
I
great.
tried it. They're crap.
Yeah.
They're not horrible, but
Yeah.
Oh no, mine.
People ask for that as well. They're like, "Oh, can you guys translate all your stuff into Korean?" It's like, I don't speak Korean. We're never translating our YouTube videos into Korean. I'm sorry, but you just have to put up with the auto
Actually,
translate.
fresh meat. That's a job for you, mate. There you
We
go.
just don't have
Convert
time
to-
for that stuff. Mate.
convert it to Canadian.
It's converted to Canadian, eh?
Eh?
Higgs says,
Hey,
"Gotta
it's a
hit
boot.
up Queenstown."
I'm about to a boot.
Where's
Oh yeah,
Queenstown?
Queenstown's cool.
And
Oh, yeah.
probably Milford Sound. Milford's is
Yeah,
that a
Milford
place?
sounds cool. Yep, South Island.
Oh, nice. Cheers,
I'm
Hicks, buddy.
probably going there for Christmas.
Yeah, Milford sounds real good.
How you doing, Hicks, pal? You good?
Lots
My-
of rain though.
I've got my I'm getting my life back on track. I've been a little bit chaotic 2020. We moved home with COVID, things going crazy, and production is basically non-existent. How you guys managed to keep on churning out amazing content, pack after pack, especially with everything going on in 2020, it's a credit to you all. Fantastic.
It's been
quality.
stressful. It's been very stressful.
I
But
think,
you know, but we like doing
also,
it. You know, it's fun.
We're in New Zealand, so we're probably
You're like
actually
the safest place in the world, aren't you?
safest country.
We're all on the internet though. We're not immune to
Yeah.
the chaos that's happening around the planet. You know,
Yeah.
being
I thought-
tech savvy people.
Well, yeah, you've got more sheep than people, haven't you?
Cyberpunk keeps getting delayed.
Yeah.
This is a travesty. How am
Why
I
are we
supposed
talking
to
about
survive?
that?
How are you supposed to work?
How-
I was about to say, I forgot that Hicks is now. You are in New Zealand, so Hicks is another person that I could visit when I'm over in Kiwi. Land.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a few people here. There's like 5 of us.
You've got the grandfather of DayZ living in New Zealand.
Yeah, yeah.
Dean
Yeah,
Hall.
we used to work with him.
Yep.
He was a producer in a game I was working on.
Oh,
When I
which one?
started
Are you allowed to
in
say?
industry.
I think it was like Clone Wars, but he would always be in his office and he would just be modeling like random personal things during work time all the time.
You mean he'll be role playing? He'll be playing games role playing.
Yeah, it was like modeling like spaceships and like random
Spaceships.
stuff. You know, stuff that wasn't even related whatsoever to the work we were doing.
I mean,
Busted,
what's he
Higgs.
know?
You busted, pal.
Yeah.
Busted. There's at least 6 people in Auckland. At least 6 people.
Yeah.
At least.
I met Taika once. Taika's real cool. And I met Jermaine Clement.
Oh man, I know you. I know
And
you
Sam
meant
Neill,
to.
and Sam
Can I ask you to tell everyone your Jermaine Clement story, the stalking story?
Oh yeah, so I saw Jermaine. We were at a bar. It was after the Hunt for the Water People, and they were all having drinks, and we went, and then we started having drinks with them. And I was like, man, I see you around the town all the time. On your bike. You know, I've seen you outside Harvey Norman, and I've seen you outside Readings, the cinema. And he's like, so how do you know? How do you know? How do you know where I am? And I was just like, I'm not a stalker. You know, like, it was quite funny. He basically accused me. He's like, how do you know where I am all the time? I'm like, he's a good guy. This is
I'm
pretty
your
funny.
number
Pretty
one
funny.
fan.
Yeah, I'm his number 1 fan.
Yeah, I saw him last week, I think.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
He's cool,
common
dude.
thing.
You stalked him
Yeah,
last
he's good.
week.
No, I saw him last week.
Yeah. You saw.
They're good fun. They're good fun.
Stalked.
Tyker's they're all real humble. They're real cool people.
I'm going to ask you something. We touched on it earlier.
Whoa.
You can say no.
Graphic.
You can say no.
Okay.
Okay. But you've got your own Synty store. Does that mean that you've got this unlimited number of Synty gifts that you could be giving out? So if I was like, are we able to give out could we do a raffle of an asset of your choice?
I'm able to do a raffle. I'm totally able to do a raffle.
What would you like to raffle? What would you like?
It could be. I mean, it could be kids, military, or construction. Probably kids. Kids is probably the best one.
I would say kids is great because then we could lead it with who would like to take home Synty's children.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who wants to open up a pack of Synty's kids and play with them?
I'll have to get you the key and stuff sorted later. We can certainly we can do the big reveal now if people want to enter. We can totally do that.
Yolen's saying his military is the only pack that he doesn't have, but he's bought your kids already. Well, Yolan, military is on 50% off at the moment on either the Unity asset store, in which case you could get with my voucher if you do !Synty in chat, or if you do !Synty store in chat, you can buy it from their store. I don't get any of that commission. My kids don't eat, but at least all of the money goes to the Synty family.
Yeah, it does.
So
it goes to the kids.
Basically, it's your decision. You either use the affiliate code on the Unity store, in which case my kids gets a benefit, or you use the Synty store link and the Synty's kids gets a benefit. But
we're throwing around the idea of doing an affiliate, so eventually we might do one. It could be that would be cool good.
And there's a mention in chat that they missed the Messi's special 30% vouchers discount they used to do. Last time you were on the stream, you said that you were updating the store and you were going to enable it that we could have the Messi's discount again.
I don't. Okay, so the problem is currently the new sales system stacks, so they would then get 30% off 50%. So we can't have any basically voucher systems working in concurrent with our current system.
Oh, but you can wait until the current sale's over and then go, Messi, here's your...
Yeah, we can potentially do that. It's just we're going to be able to remember that we've done it and disable it. Yeah, so it's hard. It becomes hard now. But we can do a certain...
I told you. I was like, Mike, you got to disable it because somebody told me that it's stacking.
Exactly.
That's the problem is we forget. When we do a sale, there's 100 different checks and balances we have to do. It's hard enough just putting the things 50% off.
Yeah, but we'll look into the affiliate thing. I think that could be a potential option.
That's a good one.
Because it could be. Yeah, we need to look into it more. It's something we've been talking about. It might be a new year.
What's the general affiliate percentage you get there, Messi?
Oh, it's 5%. It's dreadful. It's 5%.
Like a 5%. Because we were thinking of doing a pretty higher percentage.
Oh, that would be nice.
Maybe 10%. Maybe it's 10%. I don't know. It really depends on the system and the fees involved. Because there can sometimes be a lot of fees, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, the day job, which obviously everyone hates their day jobs. I love my day job. My boss is in the chat. I love my day job, but I'm getting paid. Don't sack me. But I've built a few affiliate systems in the past, and I've worked in integrating a few affiliate systems, and people don't appreciate just how much of a pain in the bottom.
Oh yeah, there's tax involved, currency conversions. They are ridiculous.
All this analytics nonsense you have to worry about as well.
Yeah.
Accuracy.
Make sure the sales are legitimate. They could be fake ones.
And the old systems you could get away with. They would only get processed at the end of the month. So you'd be like, in a month, this is how much commission you earn. And then people start getting greedy. They wanted to start withdrawing their cash halfway through a month to do calculations. Ruin the world. I have a used or unused $10 discount voucher today. Oh, he's used. You've used your $10 discount voucher. What did you use it over in the Synty store? Do you give out? Sanyo's saying he used a $10 discount.
The Humble Bundle. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So Humble Bundle. Everyone on the bought Humble Bundle got a $10 voucher.
Yeah.
Which are valid for another few months.
So there you go. If you got the Humble Bundle, you can be buying on the Synty store, which they've got stuff on discount, and also get $10. Now, if you want to get the Apocalypse pack, it's 70% off on the Synty store. Synty store in chat.
Oh yeah.
So 70% off plus your $10 discount from your Humble Bundle. You're basically
Cheap
giving
jobs.
away the Apocalypse Pack for free.
Well, more or less. It's still some
$70 or something.
Don't make us do maths.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like money.
I've been meaning for a long time to sit and play with your things and make something that somebody could enjoy.
No time like the present.
Exactly, no time like the present. And over on, if you do an exclamation mark Discord in chat, Fresh Meat came up with a wonderful idea that we'll be doing challenges. Every month there'll be a type of challenge. Fresh Meat, do you want to write in chat what the current challenge is going to be, or are we not releasing the challenging thing yet? There were rumours that there might be a flippy challenge, like get your favourite asset from the asset store and try to flip it. Now, no one's flipped a Synty Studios asset before, so it could be a good time to try flipping a Synty Studios asset.
So it could be like
we were thinking
worst flip ever.
What's that?
Make the worst flip ever.
Oh yeah, we were thinking about like coming up with like names for Synty people, like hello Syntonites or something, or like, and then one of the ones was like, hey flippers, you could, because it's it's always the joke that like anyone using assets is an asset flipper, and it's like, well no, they're not. It's asset flippers. They're doing real dirty stuff. They're just literally combining two assets and releasing a shill onto some mobile device. Whereas
the two asset is somebody who's actually put some effort in. My favourite are the single asset flips, like
but they need the controller. They've got to use controller 01. Like the free standard assets or something is the controller. But that's the second asset is like the actual game code. They didn't even do that. They just used they've done nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, what did I play about the other day? I imported one of your projects, and I was just running around, and I was like, this is good enough to flip. Now, you once told me, Mike, that you gave me permission to flip one of your demo scenes. You were like, no, you're right. Just change it a bit, but if you're going to be doing something for fun, you're not. You're not going to be making loads of money off it and paying off your mortgage. You don't have any problems with it.
I always recommend modifying the scenes though, man, because otherwise you just we don't build these for like great gameplay. They're built to look cool, and they're built, some of them are pretty good, like Apocalypse, because of the shape of the city is pretty good, it's fine. But just mix them up a little bit, for people that are trying to do just grab some parts of the demo and just make a new one, or just mash some stuff in. Taking them as is just gonna, if someone's seen that demo before, they're immediately gonna go, well, I know where that's from. You know what I mean? Whereas if you mix it up just a little bit, it's enough that it's like, I haven't seen this before. I don't look at, I guess, Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, and GTA and say, oh, they're the same game. They're all realistic. They're all visually very similar, but they're not the same game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a bit. The one problem is with the Synty stuff, and I say this from a place of love. Everything, like all of the buildings and the models and the Synty stuff, is happily to be. It could be any game, But once you start playing about with the Synty people, it's very recognizable Synty stuff.
Totally.
And that's the only issue. Now, when I did that IAGDA interview, I was actually being interviewed. Thank you to everyone who came on and watched that interview on their channel. I was talking about a lot of Synty stuff. For a sec, I thought Messi on cam. I am on cam. There's me on cam. There was an asset somebody made. It was a game that somebody made. It was using the Synty assets. And what they did, they used standard Synty faces as the plebs, and then they had characters with noses and eyes and glasses as the main characters, so that you knew the ones with blank faces were the background plebs in the game, and the main characters had noses and eyes and stuff. And I'm giving them a lot of benefit, maybe if that was intentional or not, but you could see that they used effectively. They go like, these are your regular Synty characters that everyone else has got, but now here are different ones with noses, polygon characters with noses and mouths and stuff, which are the different type of characters. So that you can, and like you mentioned earlier, if you load up into Blender or Maya or 3D Studio Max, you can modify the Synty stuff to make them unique. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as everyone else has bought the packs.
Exactly. I mean, it's not necessarily that hard to do that either, like once you've learned the basics. But I mean, we're always looking at ways we can improve our stuff as well. Like, for example, the mouths for kids. So, could we release some facial stuff for adults you could push in? Like, we're always thinking about that kind of stuff, and it's certainly on our radar. Because customization is something that's pretty important for people to feel like they've got something unique. So it's certainly something we toss around quite often. So I think we'll definitely see more of that kind of stuff.
I mean, the kids pack is a huge innovation. It's a huge step forward in the expressions. I think it's a game changer now with the Synty stuff. Really, really excited to see what's going to be coming up on the horizon. And we've got a winner. We're going to announce the winner. Somebody is going to play about with Synty's kids. Somebody is taking home a load of children from Synty. They're playing with the kids, and it is Gilda. Oh my god! Our
Congratulations,
Gilda, who's a moderator. I mean, we go rigged. No, it's not rigged. Rigged.
No. Yeah. Congratulations on your win, sir.
Remember, put !Synty Kids in chat if you want a link to get the Synty Kids for yourself. Currently over on the Synty store. Give me the !Synty store, please, in chat so I can copy and paste it into my browser, if you would be so kind. Synty Poly Kids, Poly Kids. I should do a Synty Kids.
So our assets are on sale for a couple more weeks, I think, or another week or so. I'm not exactly sure. It's been very busy lately. But yeah, Unity and Synty Store stuff's on sale. Get in there,
I want to see more of the simple stuff. I want to see more of the simple stuff.
Do you?
That's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
No.
Are you completely bored of it now? Like you've advanced beyond that world.
I don't think we could do it.
Yeah.
I think the problem is, as soon as we started to do a simple thing, it would become overly detailed and it wouldn't be simple anymore.
Well, that's my point. Is that there is so much room for the Synty style or level of detail that we know and love in the poly stuff to be in the simple, because it's...
Yeah, but what would you rather have, though? Would you rather have us do Ancient Worlds and Simple, or would you rather Ancient Worlds and Polygon?
Ancient Worlds and Poly, come on.
Then that's it. Yeah. You already answered your own question.
I know. You've got me there. You've got me.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's the same with us. Is we want to make more fidelity. We want to make more interesting things and push ourselves. Whereas the simple stuff is very limiting artistically and creatively. So
also financially, I imagine simple Ancient Worlds wouldn't do as well as Polygon.
Yeah,
that is true.
Want the Polygon?
And you need that money coming in.
We do. We've got people to pay.
Exactly, you've got teams of hundreds of people now. It's dedicated.
Pandemic.
You've got dedicated
pandemic to survive.
teams.
Yeah.
Get stuck up on toilet paper.
You need to get enough money to get your own smoke rooms for the parties.
Yep.
We're not quite there yet.
We'll get there though. That's on the list.
We're still in the play some video game stage of our parties.
Yeah.
So buy some assets. We need that smoke room.
Yeah.
!Synty store. Get that shopping done. Come on.
Get that smoke room.
Yeah, that smoke room paid for.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Well,
that'd be good. I'd love one of those. I think they could sell it as a thing. Like, I felt rejuvenated. I didn't feel a hangover the next day. I felt like I had a bit of a headache at the party because we'd been drinking, and then I just felt amazing. And I'm like, maybe you could have these at your house,
Mike, are you not
it's
worried
like a
about
reverse
what was
sauna.
in the smoke though? Are you not thinking like?
I think it was just water moisture. So I mean, you could just have, it's like a reverse sauna. You could have one in your house to like rehydrate you and reinvigorate you. I'm sure there's a market for these smoke rooms for people's houses.
Yeah.
We felt great. I felt the best I've ever felt.
It's sex parties, especially. Is he saying? Is the
yeah, totally, yeah. You know, like you're going to be sweating out a lot. You go in the room just to chill out. You just rehydrate. It's like you call them hydration rooms. You know, I reckon they do quite well.
Are you Polygon Kids? You haven't put it on sale on your site. It's because it's just come out.
It's too new.
It's too new, so it's a very good win for that winner. Yeah.
It's not very fair if you've just gone and bought it because it's out and now it's 50% off.
Yeah.
But then to say that, when you do release something, you generally have it on a reduced price for the first couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah, just to like help people out. Get drives a few sales. It gets awareness out there. People obviously like that fact that it's slightly cheaper. Makes it feel good. Jump straight in, you know. The opposite is if you buy a video game and then a week later it's on sale, you feel a bit, I miss, whereas if it's on sale when you first buy it, it's not going to go on sale for a while, so it builds a bit of, and still some confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Also, the people buying it initially are normally our fans, so
yeah, it kind of helps them out.
There was a comment on. I know you don't read the YouTube video comments, but I want to just tell you there was a comment that somebody said. Let me find it before I let you go because
Cam reads them.
Yeah, our support guy has now moved on to reading them.
Well, I don't think you read the ones on the comments on my video.
Yeah, we ignore you.
Oh no.
Directive to ignore you.
Yeah, that loses videos. So.
Yeah, don't listen to that.
Don't listen to that guy. Let me go to let me put it. I actually put a link to it in chat as well. I can just blow my own trumpet a little bit here. There's a link in chat. And if I pop over there, there was a comment. Oh, there's my beautiful voice. What a sexy voice that bloke's got. Now, Savage Games commented, "We purchased almost every Synty asset on the Unity store over the last 3 years.
Oh.
And many when you've done reviews on them," he says. So, like, lads, okay, you hear that? When I've done reviews, right? Basically, your entire profit margin is driven by my videos, is what he's saying. I like that comment. "I know we have every Synty simple asset and only lack 3 or 4 of the small Polygon packs." By the way, unbelievably, the Synty Polygon City pack, currently 50% off, is like £8, £7.99. It's one of my favourite packs. It is huge. It's got so much stuff in it, and it's only like £8, less than a tenner. You're insane if you're not buying it, if you don't already own it.
Less than a tenner.
Less than a tenner.
Exactly, yep.
What's the tenner get you?
Exactly. It can't get you anything except for decent Synty stuff. Right, so
I don't know. I went to UK a few years ago. You get lunch for a tenner.
Yeah, not anymore.
At
Not
a
in
cheap
London,
pub.
Not in London.
Oh, it's gone up. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so Savage Games says he only lacks 3 or 4 of the small stuff. Now we are purchasing them all on the actual Synty website store to support them, and we'll be getting them in the Unreal compatibility also. So this guy, these people have purchased all your stuff on the Unity store, and then they're buying them again through your store just to help support you guys. That's
just for that, we'll make more assets. So that's the thing. I think people, like if you buy assets, we'll make more assets.
Well, he does go on to say, we would love to see them do an under the water asset pack, items to 20,000 leagues under the sea, and a Polygon tri-asset dinosaur.
Really? Yep.
Dinosaur.
Well, the underwater one, not so much dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that, Andrew, in your YouTube video, stream that you guys did, that you thought about dinosaurs, but you're not going to go down that route.
We're definitely doing dinosaurs.
Sometime though.
At some point, it may be 5 years down the trail.
There he is.
Yeah.
When we run out of things to do, I'm making dinosaurs guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's going to take a year to make all dinosaurs.
But the thing is, dinosaurs might be extinct by the time you get around to doing it. I look forward to seeing the messy coda review of underwater steampunk habitats and the Nautilus-type submarines and mermaids, copper-handed private, and a giant squid. So there you go.
We'll call it Bioshake. Bioshake.
Hey! Bioshake.
I'm gonna have to pull your mate.
Yeah. You're gonna have to go and have a whiz.
I've got to go real bad, but we've got lunchtime. We've got lunch.
Andrew's got a bottle. Andrew's fine.
Yeah.
So lads, thank you so much for popping in. Always a pleasure. All of you are wonderful, beautiful badges.
No, it's good being here, man. We like just random interviews. It was good.
Yeah, it's
good time too. This is a good time to do it during the day. Perfect.
Exactly before the alcohol kicks in. Before you go down to the
That's it.
petrol station to pour some petrol on a slice of bread.
Before the strippers show up
There you
Yeah,
go.
for the sex party at Mike's place. Everyone's invited.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone's going.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Take care. Thank you for
All
your
right.
presents.
Sweet.
Peace.
Catch you later. Have a good one.
Peace, bro.
Oh, I love those boys. I love those boys. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now. And down below, there's that big juicy subscribe button. And right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.